This is KGW News at noon.
Our top story this afternoon is the latest on the huge fire in Hood River that we first told you about this morning on Sunrise. A viewer sent us this video of the fire at the Krieg Millwork on Frankton Road. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney. Hood River fire officials say the initial call came in around 2 o'clock this morning. They say several people wound up calling, saying that the fire was not only huge, but also spreading quickly.
I couldn't quite figure out exactly what was going on, and I sat up and I looked outside and I just saw this massive inferno across the street, and it was the most terrifying thing I think I've seen in a long time.
When they arrived, firefighters found the fire had spread to a couple of different buildings. That's when they called in other departments to help out. Investigators are still working to figure out the cause and the amount of damage, but so far there's no reports of any injuries. Well, holiday travel will be one of the biggest headlines all weekend leading up to Christmas Day on Monday. So we're going to take a quick look right here at some of the roadways around the area at this hour. We have 4 shots we can show you all around town. 2 things to point out here. First one, Highway 26, a government camp. That's in your top left there. And you can see there is snow falling right now along Highway 26. Again, that's at government camp near Ski Bowl. Some slow going as well down below. You see we have a traffic cam set up on Highway 26 closer to the city. Traffic slowing down as it makes its way towards the tunnel and downtown.
Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty.
Not guilty is the verdict for all 3 Tacoma police officers charged in the death of Manuel Ellis. The 33-year-old Ellis died during an encounter with police back in March of 2020. The 3 officers were charged a year later after video surfaced of that encounter. While the officers and their legal teams breathed a sigh of relief in the courtroom yesterday, Ellis's family walked out of that courthouse filled with disappointment. Jurors who spoke after the trial said they voted to acquit in part because they didn't think that eyewitnesses were believable. That response did not sit well with Ellis's family, who said they're not done seeking justice.
Acquittal does not mean innocence. And we know that these officers did wrong to this family, this community, and our taxpayers. And the reality is we're going to push every day to make sure that they understand how we feel about precisely what they did.
Ellis's family says they will move forward with a civil case. Meanwhile, the Tacoma Police Department's investigation also needs to wrap up. Any disciplinary action coming from the department is expected to be announced by the chief of police in the next few weeks. Hillsborough police have identified the man who officers shot and killed during a rescue effort last weekend. His name is Christopher Andrews. Police say he was previously convicted of domestic violence against the same woman he was holding hostage last Sunday inside a condo. 2 Hillsborough officers shot Andrews that day while attempting to rescue the woman after what was described as a considerable amount of time negotiating with him. In Portland, police are looking for whoever shot a man in a parking garage at the Lloyd Center Mall yesterday afternoon. It happened just after 1 o'clock. We did check again with police today. They tell us the man who was shot remains hospitalized in critical condition with potentially life-threatening injuries. So far, though, there's still no word on any suspects. Later today, friends and coworkers will remember 34-year-old Ranna Meyer. They're holding a vigil for her tonight, as a matter of fact, in Scappoose. Court documents show she was stabbed to death in her home earlier this week. Yesterday, the man police say killed her appeared in court. Here's KGW's Tim Gordon with more.
Friends of Ranna Meyer want you to see her face, to see who they've lost. They describe the 34-year-old as a vibrant person who did everything she could to be good to others.
She was an amazing spirit. She would give you the shirt off of her back. Anything for anybody at any time.
Brandy Schultz said she'd known Rhiannon for a dozen years, becoming friends through their working in the tavern business in Scappoose. Rhiannon at Longfellow's Inn, Brandy at the Wigwam.
She just was amazing. Nothing ever bothered her. She had a good time in life.
But everything changed Tuesday afternoon when Rhiannon was stabbed at her home. Her mother called 911 to report it. Police found Rhiannon with her mom outside the front door, but could not save her. Police say the suspect, 40-year-old Derek Welter, took off and was captured in rural Columbia County Tuesday night.
I was told that he was recently introduced to her, and knowing Rhiannon, she was probably trying to help him.
Court documents back up that theory, indicating that Welter is homeless and Meyer had let him shower and do laundry at her home. Welter was arraigned on Thursday in a Columbia County courtroom and now faces very serious charges of murder, assault, and unlawful use of a weapon. The judge ordered him held without bail. But the focus for friends is on supporting each other as they grieve a shocking loss and finding a way to support those closest to Rhiannon, who they say was a wonderful mother, too.
I feel horrible for her family. Her mom's amazing. Her aunt's amazing. All of her friends and family are amazing. And I feel really bad for her little girl.
As they try to stay strong for each other, remembering someone they described as an angel.
I think we rally, we do what we can, and we'll be there for her family. And we will always remember her.
Tim Gordon, KGW News.
Meyer's vigil is scheduled for 10 o'clock tonight. It will be held at the Longfellows Inn. That's where she worked. Welter, meanwhile, is set to appear in court again next week. All right, a quick break for our news headlines here as we check in with Rod Hill. Weather, a big story as we head into a holiday weekend.
Yeah, we had that rainy start to our day. We now are behind the front and we're behind the steady rain band. So it's scattered showers. You can see they're still feeding in off of the coast. We'll see scattered showers for the remainder of today. And the rain areas have pushed all the way now through the basin, getting out into Pendleton. As promised, snowing up in the Cascades. I'll show you that in just a moment. Again, if you head outside in the coming hours, you're going to find a mix of dry and the scattered showers feeding in from the northwest. That is still snow over the Cascades. And here's our Timberline camera. There was no snow in the parking lot this morning. Now it at least looks white, right? With flurries coming down. It was 35 early this morning. Now it's 24. So the temperatures and the snow levels have really dropped off. There is 30 degrees at Government Camp on Highway 26. And there is, enough snow and maybe some slick spots to slow you down over the Cascade Passes this afternoon. They've only picked up less than 2 inches so far, both at Government Camp, Meadows, and also at Timberline, but more is coming. Here's a look at downtown Portland, 46 degrees. Right now it's dry out at the airport. Probably open up some sun breaks, highs in the upper 40s. Again, Drew, for folks traveling this afternoon, not a big snowstorm up there, but a few inches over the roadways, enough to slow you down, so pack extra time for that. Back to you.
All right, more from Rod coming up here in less than 10 minutes. Right now, we want to talk about Nike. Nike just announced plans to cut $2 billion in costs over the next 3 years. Officials there say they plan to make changes to their product assortment, increase automation, and use technology to streamline efficiency. So the big concern during cutbacks like this are layoffs. Last month, Nike announced a reshuffling of top management. The last round of widespread layoffs at Nike came in 2020 when it laid off about 700 employees. One of Portland's largest homeless camps is scheduled for removal. It's the one along Northeast 33rd Drive that we're showing you here near the airport. The city says the work, which includes removing broken down cars and RVs, should take at least 4 days. Outreach teams, meanwhile, will connect people who are living at that camp with available resources.
By the 1st of February, everybody's got to be gone or they're going to tow both sides of the road, everything that everybody owns or whatever, it'll be gone.
Everybody will basically bounce from here, probably most likely over to Delta Park, post up at Delta Park for a while until they said they got to bounce and then end up right back over here.
It's still not clear when cleanup of that camp will start or where those people will go. One street away, though, is what's known as the Safe Park Village. It's for people who live in RVs. The city says there is space available there, but campers say they need a referral to get in, and some have told us that referrals are hard to come by.